You're locked onto the king of the internet. Oh, I like that.
All right, right now we have the R&B legend from the legendary group Mint Condition, the big homie Stokley Williams. Stokley, man, let me know what's popping with Mint Condition right now. What's going on with you, fam?
It's amazing, man. We're doing everything under the sun, basically. Collectively, individually. So we're just branching the group out. We just have an expansion team going on right now. So, yeah, it's everything's everything, man.
All right, expansion team. Expanding as far as what? Like, what are you expanding into?
A little bit of everything. We just, like, for instance, like with this, it's like this Wale project. Like, the Mint has always done, like, we've done select things, like production-wise, that kind of thing. But now, they're just kicking off a whole new series of stuff that we're about to do. So we're just about to really focus a little bit more on production. I've worked with a team of other people, regarding this Wale thing, because he chose his team, and I'll continue to do that, and outside, collectively with men. It depends on what the project calls for.
Right. So you're working with Wale, but like I'm not really sure of what capacity. Like you're producing the whole project for Wale. Like what are you doing for this Negro? I'm not really understanding that.
Wale wanted to put together a team of people to help his vision come to life. See what the picture that he wanted to paint. And I was, selected out of, some of the folks that he wanted. One guy named Tone P out of DC, another great writer named Sam Du, was actually on the second single, on the Love Hate single that we co-produced. And so I was working myself with those guys, and we did and there's a bunch of other producers as well. So what we would do is just pretty much, he wanted to make it feel really, not sterile. Like, there's a lot of hip hop out there where it's just like might be a loop and somebody just spitting over it, that kind of thing. Right. But he wanted to make some peaks and some valleys, wanted to make kind of a statement and have it, one big cohesive art piece, audio art piece.
Right, he's trying to get back to the musical essence of things, and I kind of respect that, man. And I respect you for working with him, so that's kind of pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and he ain't afraid of music. He's from, the go-go capital of the world, So I mean, they love live instrumentation and all that kind of thing. So, he's brave for doing that, because a lot of cats are like, it's gonna sound a little different, but he's got a lot of soul into it, and already a lot of people responded well to it. So, we worked on about. All of this together. Me, Sam, Tone P, that another cat named No Credit.
All right, that's what's up, man. So, are you doing any more production for other artists besides Wale? Like, I know you're heavy on the instruments and you enjoy the art of making production as much as you do, the art of singing, man. So, what else are you doing on the production aspect of this hip hop industry or this music industry in general?
Well, we just got some working with got some stuff with trying to get some stuff with Mesa Leaks. Also, she was singing with a group named Incognito. Also, Leela James trying to get some stuff popping there on that direction. There's some Christmas stuff, like soundtrack stuff that's coming out. And just trying to put it down in that way, man. And it's the genres don't even matter. It's just like it might be R&B, it might be hip hop, that kind of thing. So we're just trying to spread it out a lot more than what we've done.
All right, that's what's up. I respect that, man. But what about the group, man? Mint Condition. Are we having any more Mint Condition albums coming out? Are you done with these Negroes or what, man? Like, what's going on with the group Mint Condition?
You gotta, with Mint, that's always gonna be popping. You know what I mean? That's Mint is Mint. We put out our albums and we just trying to find out a different corner. Figure out different distributors we want to roll with. Right now it's going to be, that next project is looking like it's going to be kind of a holiday project as well, in some form. Whether it be, like I said, on a soundtrack or something like that, or whether it might be just an EP with maybe 6 or 7 songs, or it might be a full length. So that's what we're kind of gearing up for that. And
you guys are still heavy on the performance trail, right?
Oh, absolutely. We perform every week. Yeah, that thing stopping. Yeah, so.
Right, and I figured that, man. I see hot chicks in goddamn form-fitting outfits. Now, sure, the chicks may be over goddamn 40, but they're sending out tweets all over the goddamn place and on Facebook with tight-ass dresses. talking about they had some goddamn mint condition concert, man. So I know you still doing numbers.
Yeah, I can only look at those. I'm full in, but it was just kids and all that. So
Now they recently did an episode of Unsung on you guys, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Now, what was the one thing that you noticed, whether while filming the Unsung or watching the Unsung? What's the one thing you noticed that you didn't realize while going through this whole mint condition process?
I didn't notice that it was going so quick. I really did. I was like, wow, because a lot of that footage, except for a couple of things, was my footage, and I'm so glad I did that because, like to document, I knew at some point Dave would come where it's like, wow, to look back at everything that you've done, that was just a drop in the bucket as far as, I got a lot of stuff. It just interests, man. It's like, wow, where's the time go? Really, it's true. You take it for granted. I'm trying to figure out how you can cherish it anymore. You just got to, really smell the roses if you can. At the moment, you're moving so quick because there's so many opportunities, and it's just really a fast-paced, highly pressure kind of, just under this pressure cooker. Sometimes, when you're out there trying to, to produce more product, and when you spend a lifetime trying to get in. Then you realize once you get in, then the work begins. Then you're successful. Then you have to try to keep up with that. You know what I mean? And we just got to the point where it's like, there's joy in craft, and I think you do your heart, man. And people, you challenge them. Yeah, your fans sometimes, so they're not. People talk about artists being in the box. Well, I talk about consumers being in the box too. Because we're trying to figure out and push the limit a little bit to make them think different, make them feel different as well. So it's a two-way street. It's a conversation that an ongoing conversation we got with everybody out there,
All right, now coming from Mint Condition, one of the more prominent R&B or soul groups within the past, 20, 30 years here, what do you think caused the death of the male R&B group, or really, to be honest with you, just groups in general? Why don't we see as many groups anymore?
Yeah, well, I think it's a few different things. Commerce being one. It's like being cost effective to go on the road, that type of thing is one factor. Of course, if you don't see it, you can't be it. So in the schools, a lot of these instruments and these programs have been taken away, as well as some of the sports. But probably the music goes before the sports, depending on how good the program is. So those are the two things. And then, just trying to, it's no easy way of trying to be in a group or be part of a collective of people, without having some, trying to figure out a way to have good, successful conflict resolution. You know what I mean? When you have your health debates to be calm. Because we go through that whole thing too, and still doing some ways, but we just deal with it differently as grown men. But when you got all that testosterone when you're younger, and you flip off at the mouth, and you got,
basically,
it's like,
you're trying to say people don't really necessarily feel like dealing with the hassle of being in a large group.
Yeah, some of it, if you can work with it. We just came at a time, man, where it was like, that's what we grew up watching. It's like, bands. It was about that. Now, I could have went and did something earlier because a lot of folks were pushing, do a solo thing. It's easier, it's quicker, and you can, make more money, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, to me, it wasn't as effective as having a group, a team of people, who you could really, travel with and really make a bigger splash, in another way, say something a lot deeper. Because at that time there's a bunch of solo artists out, and bands were going out at that time. So we were always fighting an uphill battle, but just to kind of prove everybody, like, look, wrong. And this goes for the people that were at the labels too, including every album we put out, pretty much, not including, Jam and Lewis. Everyone else be like, we don't hear a single. All these great songs, and you don't hear a single. So I mean. And it just, again, prove me wrong again and again. It'd always be something at the label that would happen, like, the black department would get fired or something like that, or the general manager would get fired. So we're always, doing like an uphill battle. So we learn to actually depend on ourselves, to be really wear 10 different hats, because that whole kind of old school thing of like, you got 10 jobs within a group, just true. You can't really depend on nobody else. So.
Right. Now, looking back, as far as everything that you guys accomplished as a unit, as a group, Mint Condition, where is your place in history? Like, where do you stack up against the other male R&B groups of your time? Like, where do you put yourself in at when it comes to, ranking yourself with these other groups?
Well, I wouldn't do a hierarchy like that. I would just do it like more kind of like just in a circular way. It's like everybody's got their time to shine, and I think that's I think of it more like that, because it's kind of like when people try to compare, like Prince and Michael Jackson, two different people, both incredibly great, out of this world, out of the stratosphere. I can't say, well, one's better than, it's just like they're both incredible. So I think we're one of the greats. I think one of the greatest bands to ever do it. I think it's still popping it in our way, because I mean, in a way, we went far further than so many others. I mean, we've looked at, okay, what was it that I couldn't make it? One was commerce. It was just, too many people in the group couldn't figure it out. It would be like one or two people making the money. So with this couple of things, we strategically tried to figure out how to make things work like that. Really, everybody really, pulling their weight, so to speak. So you got to kind of be on your P's and Q's, type of thing. So I think, just one of the greats to do it, man, and to do it as long as we're still relevant, putting out music, still touring. And not a lot of groups have made it that far to do that. So, I mean, I think that is, for anybody to do anything for 20 years, it's just amazing anyway, whatever. But, music in this pressure cooker, highly competitive, where everybody's doing this, I think we've carved out a little corner in the world where, we can say that, it's one of the greatest to do it,